So we're live again here, myself and Imran,
Peace.
and we shall wait for people to join us. So just to let people know that whoever is listening is only one right now, but I'm going to drop the link for uh, the stream. So whoever wants to join in to talk directly, they are more than welcome. Just click this link, and you'll be uh, added to the stream, and you can say whatever you want or ask whatever questions you want. I mean, there's so far there's a couple. Let's keep waiting for a minute or two. So what's new?
You
Omar is
also
here. Salam. And
you wanted to tell the people if our audio is balanced.
all right, yeah. So our whoever is listening, I guess, is Omar right now, and Mahnaz, my wife, is here as well. So let us know if the audio from both of us is balanced, like one is not lower or higher than the other. Is
Yeah,
it good? Check
like
my.
especially my voice should not be louder than Asad.
No, I mean it should be balanced,
It
louder
should.
or that doesn't matter. Both
Yeah,
should be the same level when we speak, so it's not unbalanced.
yeah. Last few episodes, my voice was overpowering. And I was.
Yeah, it was like it was distorted. That was the reason. Salam, Summer is here.
Oh, my wife is here too. Okay.
Hmm. And so we can start. I don't know if you have anything to start off with, or whoever has. Yeah, so it's good for Omar. So it's good.
Yeah.
We're good to go. So whoever wants to start off with questions, they can post them or join us on the stream and ask directly if anyone has the audacity.
Yeah. I had two,
Yeah.
and the thing was that uh, I don't know if you'd be interested in reading 4, 5 signs, but it was actually chapter 14, Abraham,
Hmm.
when it starts from sign number 35 to 41.
Yeah.
Two things I wanted to know in these 5, 6 signs. One was if you could explain where is Abraham, what is he saying, and then in sign number 41 he says make intellect of the mankind go towards them. What is that reference to?
We can let's read it and go through what's being said there. Yeah, we've got
Okay.
Umar's question. Let's go first. Do yours. 1431. You said right.
Yes, sir. Chapter 14, sign number 35.
35. So from
35 to
35
41.
to 41.
Yeah.
Okay, let me bring it up. Share the screen. Let me know if you see it.
Yep.
Okay, so here the Spirit tells us, and behold, said Abraham, Lord, make this the land secure, and surely answer me and my sons that we serve the idols. So here, this land is the station of Abraham, referred to the station of Abraham in the Quran, which is in Jerusalem. Uh, Today, it is under the dome of the rock, which covers the rock, and under that rock is a cave, and that is the station of Abraham. That is the land he is asking God to make secure. And answer me and my sons that we serve the Satan idols. Yeah, so answer us that we don't serve them. It sounds like that we serve them in the sense that answer us so we know. Obviously, he's not asking to serve the idols. He's asking that don't let us serve the idols. And then he says, Lord, surely they make astray many from the mankind. And this is pointing to females here, by the way. When it says surely they, it's pointing to females. They make astray many from the mankind. Look around you, the amount of females that are making astray mankind. But one who follows me, but surely he from me. So he says, whoever's following me is from me, and we are all following Abraham if we are believers. If we want to be successful, we have to be following Abraham, all of us. And one who disobeys me, but surely you forgiving, merciful. So he's already asking, if they disobey me, forgive, and you are forgiving. So obviously, God does forgive um, for disobedience as well of himself and his messengers. The examples are in the Quran. Our Lord, surely I establish my progeny with a valley other than with growth, with your house the sanctified. So now he's referring to Ishmael, which is part of his progeny, that he's established in Makkah, where the Kaaba is, which is the house the sanctified, or Bethel Muharrami, or Bethel Haram. Our Lord, to their making constant the prayer. So, he's besieging him to make them make constant the prayer, but obviously it depends on them. But make intellect from the mankind. So add them intellect, and go towards them and sustain them from the fruits. Maybe they thank. So make intellect, make constant their prayer, and sustain them so they may be thankful. I mean, simple statement of a request to God to do something, which is not necessary, right? Most of those who are the progeny of Abraham are rebellious, are falsifiers, are rejectors, are partnering. Even it doesn't matter if they're from the progeny of Abraham. Only the messengers and prophets, they are obviously secured by God. Even they falter, like Jonah. Then he says, "Our Lord, surely you know what we hide and what we announce, and not it hidden over the God from a thing in the earth and not in the heaven." The praise to God, the one who sent to me over the old age Ishmael and Isaac. So he's thanking him for sending him his progeny, yeah, which he didn't have for till he was old. Surely my Lord to be listener of the call. And I mean, you want to go further? Lord, make me constant the prayer and from my progeny. Our Lord, and you accept the call. Our Lord, forgive to me and to my two parents and to the believers a day it stood the account. So, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? He's asking for forgiveness, and two parents. Whenever I read this, I can't ask forgiveness for my parents, my two parents, because they are uh, partnering with God, and my father's dead anyways already. And I cannot ask forgiveness. When I say this, I look at Adam and his spouse
Mhm.
as the two parents
Wow.
when I read this sign personally. And Abraham cannot ask forgiveness for his father either, by the way. He asked forgiveness till God showed him that his father, his name is Azar, was his enemy, was God's enemy. And then Abraham freed from Azar after that. So, anything else you want to see here?
Beautiful. I mean, Joseph, I think, said that basically those who fear and wait the beneficent will be the prosperous. And it's amazing that, I'm telling you the truth. When I read that sign, intrinsically, my heart went towards Father Adam and his spouse, because you know about my parents as well. So it's just a praise to God. And basically, he's asking uh, God to add intellect to his progeny and
Yeah,
make them
that they
constant.
established in Makkah, right? Ishmael and his
Yeah. Oh,
progeny.
cool.
His progeny, which is Ishmael, basically, and his kids. So here, let's bring up Omar's question. If there is a difference between knowing and believing, then what is meant by alameen, which is knowing within the Quran? Well, that's a very loaded question and requires some explanation. So the word alameen means the knowing, like those who know, and it comes from the word ilm. Everybody knows ilm. Nobody contradicts or argues that the word ilm means knowledge, and alim means the one who has the knowledge or knows. Yeah, alamu, I know. Yeah. So you have to figure out in the Quran when it says the knowing, which knowing is being referred to. You have to read the sign in context and then understand why the word alameen is used and for whom it is used. So, for example, in the we've got Kevon as well. Peace, Kevon. We have the example in the first chapter, the shore opening Fatiha, when it says Lord of the knowing. So what are these knowing? Who are these knowing that God is referring to? It's referring to all those that know God is a Lord and no one else is a Lord except God. So who are those? If you look at the creation that we know, the heavens and the earths. So those who are those? The heavens and the earths are the knowing, obviously, the angel and the spirit, and all of the demons and men who know that God is a Lord and no one else, and they don't make partners with God. So they are the knowing referred here. You can bring up other signs if you want, and you can read that and figure out what those are talking about. Sometimes it says they know, like it's not alamin mentioned there. They say they know, ya'lamun, they know. So who are they and what do they know? It's in context. You have to read the sign in context. So knowing and believing absolutely are different. I know God exists. To know God exists, you have to reach a level in your heart, in your faith, where you have no doubt. And only God can bring that, nobody else. So believing, you can believe. So that leaves open the fact that God will accept a level of belief by people without them knowing completely or with absolute uncertainty, without a doubt. He will accept what that level is. For each soul, there is a different level. And God will judge each soul separately because no soul is created equal to another soul, and no soul will be burdened more than she can bear. This is the promise of God, and God does not change his promise. So, whatever you're burdened in this life, you are able to accept and handle that no matter what you think, except the exceptions are always there. When the punishment comes at the end, then try bearing that. So, is that clear, Omar? Well, we got nothing else coming here, and I think Imran is off doing some stuff.
Imran is here.
Oh, he's here. Well, let's bring up your next question because we only had one, and then we're dead on this side of the chat here. So
Okay.
go
So
ahead. So you can bring your next issue that
yeah,
you had,
yeah.
Imran.
So my question is in context to a sign in chapter 15, the rock, and in the opening of the chapter. I mean, my question would be: would it be correct if I say that mocking messengers of God is sinning?
I mean, it's wrong. Whether you characterize it as a sin or a crime or whatever, it's up to you. I mean, for mocking the messenger of God, you want to be punished and put in hell eventually.
Yeah.
So,
So if you look at that sign, it's actually sign 11 in
uh,
chapter 15. If you can
I'll,
pull it up.
I'll bring it up.
Yeah, I want you to read from actually sign 6. This is very pertinent to what's going on between you and the mankind and us in the beginning.
Yeah. So this is what it says. So let's start from before. Yeah.
Yeah, can you move that question of Umar from the screen because it's already
Oh,
done?
okay. It's still there. All right. Let's take
Thank
this
you.
out. Okay. So let's start with when they mock you and they say, "Oh, you, the one sent down over him the reminder, surely you to be mad. Why don't you come to us with the angels if you be from the truthful?" And then the Spirit responds, "Not we send down the angels except with the truth, and not they will then be looking. Surely us, we send down the reminder, and surely we to it to be guards. And already we sent from before you in sects the first." So he's talking to one man here. People don't understand. In English, you can't understand you as one or many because it's used for multiple, right? It's used for one or more. You is the word.
Yeah.
In Arabic, it's absolutely specific. Here he's talking to one man, the Spirit. The first one this Quran came to was Muhammad, and every single messenger after that, one man. There's not two, there's not five, there's one man, not woman. There will only be a man who will be a messenger in every people and generation after Muhammad till the end generation comes. And not he comes to them from messenger, except they are with him, they're mocking. So the mocking has been explained up here, right? This is
Yeah.
what they say to every messenger. I mean, well, who the hell are you, man? Bring the angels to be truthful. Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm not here to bring any angels. Like that, we slither it in hearts the sinning. So you can expand mocking to sinning, crime, whatever. Not they believe with it and have past methods of the first. So he's already telling the messenger, you're not going to be believed here. This message will not be believed. You will be mocked. You will be called crazy. You will be called an inventor, a rejecter, a magician, a crazy, deluded, mystified. I mean, you can go on and on. I mean, there's so many different words these people use to define us as the completely astray, while it is the mirror they're looking in that is astray. We are absolutely not astray. We know what we're talking about. We know what the reality is, and it certainly isn't what we're looking with our eyes in this world. That is not the reality. That is a made up fake reality. It's a real reality, but it's fake because it's not the reality we are actually waiting to see when we die. The real reality will be when we die.
And
That
this sign,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was
Okay.
asking.
And not he comes to them from messenger. Doesn't that prove that the messengers are coming?
I mean, yeah, in part, sure, but this could also not came to them from messenger. You can also translate it that way. So it's not like you have to. I mean, the Arabic is what do you call it? Quite liberal in saying that it's is, was, will be. You can figure it out yourself because some of the signs that have passed after the Quran came, before they came, it was will happen. After they come, it will happened. So you have, like, when the smoke comes, for
Mm,
example, the
mm,
punishment that mankind is waiting for and is going to come. When that punishment comes, it will be when came the smoke, not when comes the smoke. So the sign, you can read it both ways. There's no tense in the Quran that you have to see is, was, or were, or will be, or is. It's you have to figure out what to write there. So in
mm.
that sense, sure, people can come and argue, no, it means came to them, and not he comes to them. But I know for sure, I mean, the in chapter 10 it's absolutely clear that there is a messenger to every people, and when comes that messenger, decision between them with the truth. I'll bring that up.
Yeah, I
It's
was
chapter
about to say that.
sign it is chapter 10. Let's see where it is. Okay, this is the one. 1047. So here, can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start with 46. And of what we surely show you some of what we promised them, or we surely take you away, but to us they will return. Then the God will witness over what they did. So this is to the messenger again. This is directly to one man being spoken. So we were just talking about this before we came online. Yeah, how
Yeah.
God works. Unbelievable. Huh? This is exactly what we were talking about before we came
Absolutely.
online. And then it says, and to all people a messenger. But when comes their messenger, decision between them with the justice, and they, not they wronged. Doesn't mean they're not going to be destroyed and evil will not come to them. They will not be wrong because it's going to be just. Just because you're done evil to doesn't mean it's not just. It's right. It's right when it comes. And they mock. Here's more mocking. And they say, where this, the promise, if you be truthful. The messenger is told to say, Not I control to my soul bad and not benefit, except what wishes a God. To all people a term, when comes their term, but not he delays hour, and not he brings her forward. And then he's putting tongue in cheek. Do you see if comes to you his punishment night or day? What will they ask to hasten from it? The sinners. Is then when what occurs you will believe with him? And then God answers, ah, now. And had you been with it, you asking, hastening. Aren't they asking, hasten? Bring it on, bring it on. Where's this promise? Sure.
Beautiful.
Keep going and mocking us and see what happens to you here and there when the end comes.
Grievous.
Okay, so let's see. Kevin asks, can you please explain 32:21, referring, let's see, greater referring to what? Okay, so 32:21. Let's bring it up. All right, I think I just should keep it with this thing on, yeah.
Yeah.
32:21. Okay, and to are surely making them taste from the punishment the lesser, other than the punishment the greater. Maybe they return. The greater is the hereafter punishment, no doubt, in this context. And also, you can interpret or understand it as to be the punishment that comes to the generation before it's at the time it's destroyed, before their end. So the lesser punishments will come to all people and generations until God ends that generation. That is a greater punishment at the end. But the actual greater punishment, which is the absolute, is the hereafter, the fire in the hereafter. So you can understand this both ways. The lesser is all the punishments that come to us during our lives as individuals, as well as collective people, that are inflicted upon us so that maybe we'll wake up. And then at the end of every people, God destroys them. The only exception was Jonah. Yeah. So, and there's no other exception. And I absolutely do not intend to do anything like what Jonah did to prevent these people from being destroyed at all. So, I think that clarifies that, I guess. Imran?
Yeah, absolutely. Those who are capable of reading the Quran and who read it, don't they see these things? But I mean, who am I to say that? I didn't see them myself, but yeah.
Yeah, that, I mean, you have to understand, nobody will understand this Quran unless God accepts their turning to Him.
Yeah.
And when their turning is accepted, after that, He will show them the truth and He will turn them around, absolutely around. Yeah. So
Mm.
let's see. Umar asks the question. Would it be possible to fully comprehend the Torah, the Bible, and the Psalms if they are to be studied and understood under the light and law of the Quran? No, they're not in their original form. So how are you going to understand them? You can understand whatever is in line with the Quran. One is the stories that are congruent. You can read them there, and then you can read the Quran and correct what's wrong there. So why would you want to do that when the Quran speaks of all those stories already? That's doesn't make any sense to me. You can. I'm not saying don't read it. I've read the Torah. I've read a lot of the Bible and the Psalms. I've read completely. But how can I? Am I here to sit here and correct what's wrong in them by reference to the Quran? No, that's not my job. I know they've edited and mutilated those books. I cannot reject them. I have to accept them as they are. There's no way I can reject any book of God that is presented to me. And if I don't know it's a book of God and somebody presents me this as a book of God, I can't just say, no, it's not. Yeah. Even if it's not the Torah, the Bible, and the Psalms and all that's in the Bible, yeah, that I know. But they can bring the Veda or the Buddhist and the Hindu texts. I can't reject them out of hand.
Mm.
I can say, yeah, this could be. Let me read it. Or I don't need to read it because I have enough knowledge already from these books that God has left on the earth for us to understand. The stories that are in the Torah and the Bible and the Psalms, they are to help us confirm that this Quran is from God and it's repeating the same uh, message that came in the Torah. And because we have all these repeated stories of all the messengers and prophets that are in the Torah, the Bible, Psalms, and Quran, so correlate them, you will find contradictions that will prove to you that either the Quran is wrong or those books are wrong. As I know it, the Quran cannot be changed. So when it is in contradiction, I reject what the Torah says, or what the Bible says, or what the Psalm says, or anything in the Bible. So I know the Quran is true. Now, the rest of the stories that are in those books that are not mentioned in the Quran, you can read them, but then to be able to decipher or discern whether they are correct or not, you must know the Quran completely. And when are you going to know that? Probably never. So just stick to the stories that you understand in the Torah and the Bible and Psalms, and the others you can read and say, I don't know, could this have happened? Yeah, if you give me a story, I'll tell you whether that's probably true or not from the Bible or the Torah or the Psalms. I've read them enough to know there is nothing, absolutely nothing that the Quran says that is not there. And the Quran says what they've done is exactly what's written in the Bible and the
Yep.
Torah. The Bible itself does not talk about a Trinity. You know that, right? Do you know that the Trinity is not mentioned in the Quran as such, like they define it outside? There's only God, and Jesus is the so-called Son of God by in the Gospels. The Trinity is invented outside the Bible, as far as I know. If someone knows other than that, they can correct me. So the Quran knows that, and it said, "Don't say three. Better to you."
Mhm.
So that is all invented outside, and the Quran is repudiating that. It's not even in the Bible. So all is true, obviously. The Quran knows. I mean, the Holy Spirit knows. That's the one talking to us in the Quran.
It's
All
like the
right.
fake hadith.
Well, the hadith I don't even speak about anymore. I actually look back at myself and I was like, yeah, you used to say that I talk to myself that you used to say that the Torah and the Bible are like the hadith, and I was like, yeah, you better curse yourself for that, saying that. The hadiths are absolute garbage. The so-called hadith, by the way, the actual hadith is the Quran. It
Mm.
calls itself the hadith, no doubt about it. Yeah,
Hadith Allah.
yeah, exactly. This is the story. And okay, so Omar comes with a question. Let's see. Can you please explain the true concept and meaning of the Sirat and how it has been misinterpreted and misrepresented by the so-called Islamic scholar? You mean Sirat al-Mustaqim? Are you talking about that? Do you think he's talking about Sirat? Because there's
I
Sirat
think
al-Nabi as well.
yeah,
They
I
call
think
uh,
uh,
okay, I'll just consider that this is Siratul Mustaqim, which is uh, the highway, the constant, or highway, the constant. So Siratul Mustaqim is highway, the constant. You know, they say highway straight in chapter one. That's total nonsense. It's highway, the constant. It is a constant highway to God. What is it? The highest level of understanding is servitude of God. Serve God is one of the key ingredients in that, and then submission to God, obviously. So the misconception is that the so-called Islamic scholars have no knowledge of what Islam is or what it means. When they say Islam tells us to do this or Islam tells us to do that, what are they talking about? I mean, ask yourself that question. What are they talking about? Islam tells us to do nothing, by the way. There's no Islam is the religion. Nonsense. Islam is part of the way to God, and it is the first step. And the first step is submission to God. That's it. That's all that Islam means. There is no knowledge in Islam. Okay? A Muslim who is barely a Muslim, that starts as a Muslim, has no knowledge intrinsically until he reads the book or a knowledgeable believer explains to him what God is all about from the book, obviously. Where else is he going to get it from? Unless he's Moses and Muhammad and other messengers, that were explaining to people before the book came to them. I mean, the Quran did not come at the beginning; it came towards the end of Muhammad's messengership, prophethood, and Moses as well. The book came after Pharaoh was destroyed, not before. After they crossed the sea and the parting of the sea and everything, that happened later. So obviously, that's why when people come at the beginning, like if I had no book and I'm telling you all this, you're going to be worse off than you are now,
Oh
right?
man.
I've got the book in front of you and I'm telling you, you don't believe it. What do you think is going to happen when there's no book and I'm telling you all this?
Praise to God.
Yeah, so the Islam is submission. That's all. That's all it is. And this book is guidance and information to the Muslims, just like it is guidance and information to the believers. This Quran, which the messenger explains. We are sent here specifically to explain that to people. Okay, I think that should explain. So, and it's servitude to God is the biggest constant. Yeah, you serve God, you obey Him, you submit to Him, and you submit to everything He tells you to submit to. You fear God and you fear His wrath. I mean, there's so many things that
Yeah.
should be.
Wati Allah, wati Rasul.
Yeah, obey God and obey the messengers. So I think that should be enough for that. The Islamic scholars today are nonsensical people who have no understanding of what actually is going on. They have absolutely no knowledge of this book from the get go. They cannot decipher and understand anything because they fundamentally make themselves gods, because they make their thoughts their god. And when you make your thought your god, well, you're astray of the path further than you can imagine. And the irony is, God makes you believe you're guided, which which is the way of God. He makes you believe you're guided, and he assigns Satans to you to make sure you go further astray after that. Oh no, that's not how God works. Really, try it.
I mean, Abraham, I think, said, right, follow me, I will guide you. He was saying it to his father, if I'm
Absolutely.
correct.
Yeah,
I
I
will
mean,
guide you to God.
yeah. Make you fear. Moses said to Pharaoh, same thing, relatively almost. I will guide you to your Lord, so you fear.
Mm.
Yeah. He turned and said, no, no, no. I am the God. No, no, no. I am the Lord the High, said Pharaoh. Yeah. And then God made him an example to the first ones and the later ones, i.e., what happened to him. Anyway, so here's another one. Umar's on a roll today. Eh? Let's see. For the artists of Hadith, explain the Sirat as following: a bridge which is thinner than a hair and sharper than a sword, which must be crossed on. Oh, I'll just vomit over that statement. Blech. No, this is total nonsense. It's complete nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Day of judgment, there'll be nothing to be crossed. When you die, your judgment will be presented to you. So I have no idea where this nonsense came from. It is nothing but nonsense, absolute garbage. When you die, the angel of death and the angels with him are going to tell you where you're headed. Don't worry, you don't have to wait to judgment day, as you call it. Yeah, your judgment day fundamentally is when you die. You will be judged, except those that are in a balance where their ripple effects might go one way or the other. And I don't go into that because that's too complicated for us to figure out. If you are a believer, or you're at least a Muslim, and your actions have been good and evil, then the evil actions, how much evil will they ripple through the generation before it ends? I don't know. God will judge. So then they are in balance. Where are they held? I don't know. Maybe they're off. They're in a limbo, as so call it, when they die. The others are in hell, and the others are in the garden, as far as I'm concerned. Where that garden is, it could be anywhere. The earth has gardens on it as well, if you haven't noticed, and they have rivers running from beneath them, if you haven't noticed yet, all over the earth. Just look around you. So we don't even know the extent of this earth that we live upon. What we've been told are absolute lies about this earth. And they're hiding They're hiding stuff that is on the earth and what's actually going on. I mean, the biggest thing is they make you believe that you're on a ball spinning through infinite space, heading in God knows where, from God knows where. It's total complete nonsense. Okay, so that's the end of that, I believe. Yeah.
So, would it be correct to say that the Quran has evidence that the earth is not what they say it is?
Absolute. I mean, it clearly explains what the earth and the heaven and the heavens and the earth actually are. It's absolutely clear.
Can we
There's
pull
no
that
doubt.
sign?
And I made a video, a couple of videos
Oh, yeah.
on the heavens and the earth, and I go through all the signs, and there's nowhere in there you can imagine that we're on some spinning ball heading into nowhere. That's complete nonsense, absolute nonsense. I have absolutely no doubt that the earth is stationary. It ain't moving unless we bomb it or there are earthquakes. That's the only two things I think of, or some other jolt that moves the earth under our feet. The earth itself ain't moving. And he has put heaven on pillars, not you see them. It's written in chapter 14, I believe. So the heaven or heavens are on pillars, not you see them. Why don't you see them? Because they're under us. They're under the side of the heaven, holding us up. However, that is, I don't know. Okay, so now we've got. So, can you please explain the concept of Gog and Magog within the Quran, as well as the role of Dhul-Qarnain and his true identity? Actually, God is amazing. This is where I stopped today reading the Quran, at the beginning of Dhul-Qarnain's story. I was just reading chapter 18, and right before, an hour before or less, I stopped right there at the beginning of the story of Dhul-Qarnain. So let's read it together, shall we?
Inshallah.
Let's read the story of Dhul-Qarnain. Okay, let me bring it. You're here. You can see it already, right?
Yep.
Okay. So here it starts. So this is at the end of the story of Moses with the guy who he couldn't wait with when he destroyed a boat, and then he killed a child, a boy, and then he stood up a wall. That story is in itself requires about 50 different angles to look at. So right after the end of that story, the Spirit says to the messenger, and they ask you over Zulkarnain, say, soon I will read over you from his reminder. So then the Spirit answers. So, in my understanding, Zulkarnain is the one who was with Moses, and he's an angel of God. The things that are done in this story up there with Moses, the three things, we can't do that. Human or men messengers and prophets cannot do that kind of stuff. We don't have the authority to do these things, just go around killing whoever we think is going to do something wrong. This is the only the angels and the spirit are allowed to do that. They have the authority from God to do those things. We cannot. So what does the spirit say? Surely we established to him in the earth, and we brought him from everything a path. So the guy is established, Zulkarnain. So followed a path till when reached setting of the sun. Found her, she setting in a spring muddy, and found with her a people. We said, O Zulkarnain, of what that you punish, and of what that you take in them goodness. So people say, sun is setting in a spring muddy. Are you out of your minds? When you look at the lake, when the sun sets over a lake, it looks like it's setting in the water, right? It's similar, this example.
Mm.
So he said, so now he's the spirit tells Zulkarnain, what are you going to do with these people? Are you going to punish them, or are you going to take them in goodness? Taking them goodness. So he says, of what one who wrongs, but soon we will punish him. Then he will be turned to his Lord, but he will punish him punishment. Weird. So how now you're seeing how this punishment happens, yeah? The
Mm.
angels punish us. here. Then we are turned to God, and He will punish punishment weird, like whenever at the end or in the hereafter. And of what one who believes and does righteousness, but to him repaying the good. And soon we will say to him from our command, ease. This is the authority of the angels, okay? They have absolute authority over us under the command of God. He's given them what they're able to do and decipher and discern, and they know what we're doing. It's not like we're hidden from uh, what the angels can see. Everything that we're doing, the ones by us, not all of them, and each one of us has two angels. Then followed a path. So then he goes to another place. Till when reached rising of the sun, found her, she rising over a people. Not we made to them from other than her a covering. So there was nothing over them except the sun. Like that, and had we encompassed with what by him awareness. So nothing happened there. Moved on, then followed a path till when reached between the two barriers, found from other than them both a people, not they could, they comprehend the saying. So he went to some place where there are two barriers or two uh, mounds or whatever it is, I don't know, just two barriers, two um, buttresses against. So they said, so these people that he went to who couldn't understand, comprehend anything, any saying, like they're pretty much illiterate from the word of God, obviously, and other things. They said, O Zulkarnain, surely Gog and Magog warring in the earth. But should we make to you spending over that you make between us and between them a separation? So there, Gog and Magog, whenever this happened, and it's way before Muhammad and probably Moses and Abraham as well. I don't know. Or maybe after, but certainly before Muhammad over that you make between us and between them a separation. He said, what established me in it, my Lord, better? But I give an ability with force. I will make between you and between them barrier. Bring me blocks of the iron. So, till when covered between the two slopes, he said, I blow. Till when made it fire, he said, bring me, I will spread over it copper. So he can blow fire. I mean, the guy can actually blow fire from his mouth. Yeah, you talk about the dragon stories. Yeah, the stories of dragons. You can
Yeah,
relate this to that,
that's it.
but not they capable that they apparent it. So they won't be able to understand this barrier, the Gog and Magog, and not they capable to it tunneling. So they cannot come through it. They cannot come around it. Wherever this barrier is, I don't know. He said, "This mercy from my Lord." But when comes promise of my Lord, will make it destroyed, and his promise of my Lord true. So this is the story of Zulkarnain. He made that barrier between Gog and Magog and us. And we will leave some of them during that day, they forging into others, and will be blown in the whistle, but we will gather them all together. So this will be at the end when the earth is destroyed. This is when it's going to occur when God blows in the whistle. Is it the first whistle or the second whistle? Personally, I believe it's the first whistle. Yeah. And that's when this barrier is going to be blown. And it could also be at that time that the moon will split. So that is where I see the story of Zulkarnain, and what is important was to create that barrier. And they used to roam the earth at that time, whenever that was. I don't know. I can't tell you. But they will come again at the end of this whole story.
So you believe that it's the first whistle because in the second one we will be resurrected?
Yeah, that first whistle will lead to the end of this existence, the earth and the heaven. And the second whistle will be when we'll all be coming out of the earth for that so-called day of standing, day of the standing.
Yeah. And Omar, you can get the correct spellings from Majestic Reading.
Of what?
Dulkarnain.
Yeah, I mean, you can write it whatever it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I write it Z. I mean, that's not the right spelling. This is probably better. It's Dhulkarnain in Arabic. So I mean, put it DH. Doesn't matter. I mean, his name in English I write as Zulkarnain. Has no meaning. All right. So,
And like, I don't think have you, correct me if I'm wrong, have you ever written Judgment Day to Yom Al Qiyamah?
no, it's always day of the standing
Yeah. Okay.
and day of the account, uh,
Yom Al
Yomul
Hisab.
Hisab. I don't know if there's anywhere that there's day of the judgment. Is there? I don't know. Okay, so now we've got like two. I'll bring it up. See what he says here. Would it be accurate to say that human beings are much larger in size and stature and much superior in intelligence and comprehension, which is the reason why they're higher than us in rank? What? Which? No, 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 no. In the eyes of no, no. The answer is no. Just because they were higher in rank and size and intellect does not make them higher in the eyes of God. Then Jesus is one of the highest, and he came towards way later than those that used to be much taller and much had much more intellect and knowledge and comprehension of things. Just because you have knowledge doesn't make you higher in the eyes of God. So this is a misconception. I mean, then the ones that are richer are better as well. That's how mankind judges, right? Because they've got knowledge and they make all these trinkets and the what do you call it? The widgets and your cars and planes and everything and the so-called communication and all, and they make themselves rich, so they're higher in the eyes of God because they have better intellect. Yeah. No. Yeah, human beings of the past. No, that's not why they're higher. I know what you mean, by the way. They were the first men on the earth from mankind, Adam down to Noah. They all lived up to 1,000 years. They were taller than us. They had better intellect. They had better subsistence. We will never reach 1/10 of what the people of Noah had, ever, till the end. No generation. They will not reach 1/10 of that, for sure. So yeah, that is. I understand what you said. Doesn't matter whether the past or the present. God chooses who He wishes. Abraham is the leader. So why didn't He say no? Noah is the leader, not Abraham, because he was before him, and he lived to 950 years, where Abraham, I don't think, lived more than 200, 300 years. I don't know, but certainly didn't live to 950 years. So this is not a clear argument which explains this in any way, shape, or form. Absolutely not.
And David killed Goliath.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Summer with a question. Is story of Sheba the man with the knowledge and brought her throne in a blink of an eye is also an angel? Sheba the man? What is
I
Sheba?
think he forgot to put the comma.
I don't understand. I mean, what is story of Sheba the man with the knowledge? Oh, okay. Right, right. It's not a man there. Yeah, the blink is an angel. Absolutely. The story in chapter 30, what is it? Which one? Oh, 27. Yeah, it's in chapter 27, where Solomon asks his chiefs to bring her throne, the throne of Sheba, the queen of Sheba, before that queen of Sheba and uh, her entourage arrives, submitting to Solomon. And the demon said that I will bring it before you stand from your station. The angel said, I will bring it before your sight returns to you. So faster than the speed of light. And it was placed right next to Solomon. That's how the angels work. It's all the example of how angels operate. They don't operate in our time and space. They have no limitations like what we have. I mean, they can fundamentally, time doesn't stop them from doing anything. They require less than an instant to change whatever's going on. And that, I mean, you can see some of the examples of what happens around us, that things change in instant and we can't understand what happened. Many times in our lives, we see that. And you have video example of things happening on the earth today. Yeah, I wonder how that's happening. And also the demons are far more powerful and stronger than men. Absolutely. They move way faster than us. We don't understand. And now you can relate to this magic, the sleight of hand, as they say, the magicians. Yeah. How are they that fast? It's impossible, right, for us, the normal human, to look at that because possibly they're demons pretending to be men and showing you this magic.
So Sheba and her entourage came on their own accord.
Yeah, because he sent the message
Yes.
that we're going to send you forces, you won't be able to face them. When they sent originally a offering to Solomon, like whatever trinkets they sent, and he scoffed at them. What my Lord brings is better than this. You be enjoying, rejoicing with your offering. And then he said, we're going to send forces, you will not be able to stand against them. We'll take out and humiliate you from your if you don't submit. So again, the oh wow, that's forcing. No, because Solomon is an exception to the rule. Solomon was given carte blanche on the earth to do whatever he wanted. And no question would be asked of him, of God, whether he gave, whether he didn't give, whether he withheld, whatever he wanted to do, he could do. And the two angels, Harut and Marut, were two of his chiefs. And in addition to that, they were demons working for him and Satan's as well, were commanded to do whatever Solomon wanted. And if they didn't, the fire would touch them. So yeah, people don't understand what's actually going on here. Yeah, it's uh, it's pretty
Beautiful.
unimaginable for these people who have figured out everything that's going on around them, and their science and technology has brought them all the knowledge that nobody had before. What a joke! Okay, we've got 8 minutes to go. Coming
You
up. Yeah.
counting the minutes?
No, I'm just looking. I mean, I like to discuss things which have meaning, right? I mean, why? What does it matter that the people before were higher in the eyes because of this? I mean, it doesn't matter. You can think it if you want. I don't believe it at all.
But there is no one who can come to your level of intellect on this earth. We're just losers trying to, beg God to save us. So you have to be forbearing with us. You have been, which is also the fact.
Okay, so here, Omar is on fire today. Oh, wow. In chapter 18, when it is said in sign number 16, but sanctuary to the cave, is it only for the group of the youths? Youths? I don't see any youths there, by the way. Where do you get youths from? Where do you get this from? Answer that while I'm explaining it to you. Or is it also for the Muslims and the believers of today's time? We don't know. We don't know any of this. And I was reading that yesterday and today as well. So let's go to this chapter where it's written.
I don't remember any youths there.
There is no youth, obviously. There's no such thing as youths there.
Omar,
So,
be careful. His forbearance is going to go, man.
I mean, say what you know. I keep telling people don't utter things you don't know, right? Why do you utter things that you have no knowledge of? I mean, you just hear it from people and you just believe it. Then you should believe everything I say, right? Which you should. But you believe everything other nonsensical idiots tell you.
I know,
And there's no.
people don't like it when I say that, but the bottom line is that if somebody really wants to understand a little bit of the Quran, you have to go to the majestic reading because the exact Arabic words are translated exactly the correct way in English. Unlike in other translations where Urdu has manipulated the Arabic, like Alameen, like
No,
Khatim.
hold on. Not Urdu. What are you talking about?
No, like Khatim.
English and every other language as well, not just Urdu. What are you talking about? It's not Urdu
Okay,
that has manipulated that. All other languages is translated the same way: worlds, universes, everything.
that's true.
So no, no, no. Again, you're saying things like him now.
Okay, my bad. I was just pointing towards like they translate Khatim in Urdu as last, and in Arabic it's actually seal.
Absolutely. You can ask any Arab that; he'll tell you that khatam does not mean end in Arabic. It only means end in Urdu. Yeah. So here, can you see the
Yep.
So here, secured the troop to the cave, yeah? Fityatu. Okay, so now, so then they brought them out after they were sleeping in the cave for years added, or they struck over their ears in the cave, years added. Then we brought them out to our knowing which of the two groups accounted toward their tarried term. So now we know there are two groups in there. Okay, when they were put in there, 309 years that later is confirmed, they spent there. And then the Spirit says, us, we explain over you their news. And talking to one man here again, by the way. Notice, this is speaking to one man. Us, we explain over you their news with the truth. Because
Mm.
the messenger has to be taught, right? Before he teaches the rest. This Quran is a fundamental guidance to the messenger primarily. So that he can take that and explain it to the rest of the mankind. Surely they are true. They believed with their Lord, and we added them guidance. And we strengthened over their hearts. Behold, they stood, but they said, our Lord, Lord of the heavens and the earths, not we call from other than him, God. Already we say then falsehood. These are people. They take from other than him, gods. Why don't they bring over them with authority clear? But who wrongs more from one who invents over the God falsehood? The answer is no one. And behold, so now the Spirit says, and behold, you push them away, and what they serve except the God, but sanctuary to the cave. He will spread to you your Lord from his mercy, and he will make easy to you from your command together. So, yeah, this does not apply to everyone, obviously. This applies to God, the one God chooses. I went there hoping that I would be taken into the cave. Obviously, that was not God's plan. So it didn't. It didn't happen, right? So you can call group or troop, it doesn't matter. A troop is a group is a troop, but there were no youths there. That's not written there. You can pay a party, you can say a troop, you can say a group, you can say a uh, whatever, a conglomeration of people, whatever synonym you can find for a group of people, you can say there. So we don't know whether there are still the second group is still there. We don't know whether more have been added or not. But what we do know is that there is a second group after Muhammad came. The first group came out when Muhammad was here. And Muhammad was ordered, do not ask any of them about it, the numbers in the cave, the ones that were apparent, except that which is apparent. He was ordered, do not question them, do not consult them in the numbers. So you have to understand that if, for example, I am the messenger today and God brings another group out from that, and if I meet up with them and we have some tasks to do, I'm just giving you an example. This is not going to
Mhm.
happen, most likely, and probably will not. May, I don't know. But
Yeah.
if it does, then I cannot ask them about the numbers that are in the cave. So your question is of absolutely no import, and you should not be asking who's going in or not. We don't know. Can it? Yes. Could they have all come out after Muhammad and now there are none in the cave? Yes. No. Maybe. I don't know. So yeah, we don't know what happened to the second group from that cave. Did they come out at the time of Muhammad? No, absolutely not. Because Muhammad is commanded, do not consult in them from them anyone, the numbers except that are apparent, which are the ones outside, obviously, right?
So the
So,
ones outside, you mean the ones who also the scribes?
yeah, so they wrote the Quran. They are the ones who wrote the Quran, the ones that came out of that cave, which is under Masjid al Aqsa, by the way. The cave is under that mosque. Where it is, we have no access to it. That's all I can tell you. Only those God allows will go in or out of that. We don't have the ability to open or close that door to go in and out of that cave. All right. So one more question, then we wrap for today. Whoever brings that one question will be the last one. The last question.
I don't have anything.
Good. It's amazing that I just read this chapter yesterday and today.
It's always amazing. Every week there's something amazing. Every day.
Unfathomable. Okay, Omar, he's the one on fire. Nobody else has any questions. They know everything. Yeah. Can you please explain what is meant by Muhammad being the seal of the prophets within the Quran? Also, can you explain the sign Muhammad, not the Father, in chapter 47? I think it's in 33. Yeah. I don't think it's in 47. Or is it in 47? I think it's 33, personally. But we'll find out. So let's look at let's find that sign. Yeah, let's find that sign and let's go there and read exactly what's written there. I believe it's in 33, by the way. Maybe wrong. I don't remember everything perfectly. Whoa. Oh, it is 33. 33, 40.
Oh, my mic was on mute. I was just saying that praise to God. I was on near that sign, and it was 33.
33, 40. It has both of these, yeah?
Yeah.
A seal, and not is he a father of anyone. Yeah. So this is
Praise to God.
so here when they say, I'll start with the chapter 33, sign 38. Not is over the prophet from problem in what accepts the God to him. This word farad does not mean ordainment. It
Can you
means
bring it to the screen?
oh, it's not shared.
No.
Okay, let me share it. You see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to okay. Not is over the prophet from problem in what accepts the God to him. Method of the God in those who pass from before. Sunnat Allahi. Okay, the word is Sunnat Allahi.
Hmm.
Sunnah, where they come make Sunnah of Muhammad somehow. Yeah, and his command of the God a measure to be measured. Those they deliver messages of God, and they fear Him, and not they fear anyone except the God, and enough with the God account. So these are the prophets. Yeah, they don't fear anyone. Yeah, we don't fear anyone when we deliver messages of God. You can do whatever the hell you want to us. You will lose in the end massively. So now it talks about Muhammad. Not is Muhammad father of anyone from your men. So you cannot call Muhammad father, period. That's what it means fundamentally. And also that he had no sons. Both. It means both of those things, obviously. And but messenger of the God and sure seal of the prophets, and is the God with everything knowledgeable. What is a seal? A stamp, yeah? A seal is a stamp, or a
Yeah.
seal is the bottle with the cap on it. Right? You can look at it both ways. So when people say it's the seal of the bottle, that means nothing else is coming out of the bottle, right? Oh, so we're not going to have any more knowledge from God. Uh, yes, in the sense of the book, not in the sense of the messenger or the prophet. He is seal of the prophets because he brought the seal of all prophecy. Muhammad brought the seal of all prophecy. It's in front of you. It's called the Quran. That is why he's called seal of the prophets. Does not make him the last prophet, and certainly does not make him the last messenger, because he's not the seal of the messengers. He's seal of the prophets. Messengers and prophets are different ranks. Prophets can be messengers, messengers can be prophets, and messengers may not be prophets for sure, because angels are not prophets and they're all messengers, for example. And in mankind, it is very possible that some messengers are not prophets and some prophets are not messengers. I can tell you for sure Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad are all messengers of God and his prophets. The prophet rank is lesser than the rank of messenger of God. It is a secondary rank. They are similar, obviously. Their task is almost exactly the same. It is defined as both the messenger and the prophet, or the messengers and the prophets are informers and warners. Bashirun wa Naveer, in informer and warner. That's what they are. The messengers and the prophet, both of them. So that is absolutely what the reality is about this situation.
Destroyed the mankind's argument about last messenger at 45 seconds.
Oh yeah, I mean there that was destroyed a long time ago. The book is clear. There is no end to God's messengers. There's absolutely no end to God's messengers. This is all total nonsense that they make up. So anyway, so that was good. We had a lot of questions today from Umar and a couple from some other people. All right then. So we shall convene again next Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, US Eastern Time, New York time.
Inshallah.
Okay then. Salam.